Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host for this evening, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Okay, tonight we're going to preview the Week 3 matchup. Carolina Panthers hosting the New Orleans Saints at home. This will be their first NFC South division game this season here in Week 3. Saints coming into this week with a record of 1-1. Carolina Panthers still 0-2. We got quite a bit to talk about tonight as we preview this matchup. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be really interesting. But let's talk about it. The ESPN matchup predictor has 49.9% chance the Saints win, a 49.4% chance the Panthers win, and a 0.6% chance of a tie. So far, a couple of noted injuries. Right now, Dante Jackson is questionable, dealing with, I believe, a hamstring injury. He was limited at practice today, and we just recently put Bravion Roy on injured reserve. He got injured in the Giants game, had to get carted off. So it's another piece of our D-line out. We just elevated linebacker Aaron Mosby from the practice squad to the active roster. The Saints got a handful of folks on that are questionable. Traquan Smith, wide receiver, questionable. Taysom Hill is questionable. Deontay Hardy is questionable. Marcus May, Paulson Adebo, they're all listed as questionable according to the ESPN injury report. But yeah, let's take a look at this matchup. Saints are coming in 1-1, which they are 1-1 in the NFC South. They defeated the Falcons, but they lost to the Bucs, so they're 1-1. Carolina's 0-2 right now, but this is our first NFC South division game. Whew. Okay. Let's dive into this matchup. Hold on a second. Okay. B. Ryder. Did I say that right? Yeah. B. Ryder, welcome to the stream. Says, dude, we got to start faster. Facts. Absolutely. I 1,000,000% agree with you. You know, Carolina lately in these first two games have been kind of more so of a second half / fourth quarter type of team. And it's just, you know, we've lost by only a couple of points in both games, but still, like you said, you know, opening up with turnovers, you know, not being able to get points on the board early has really been hurting us. B. Ryder says it's like they're not practicing, or it could be that they're you know they're doing well in the practicing, but it's not translating on field. But there's a lot to look at. There's definitely a lot to look at. Okay. So this another 1 o'clock game. According to the history, Carolina is 26-29 all time against the Saints. And of course, the last meeting we had with the Saints, they beat us. And last year, we beat them the first time last year, and then they won the rematch. Now, We were able at one point to shut down Alvin Kamara. So hopefully we can do that this time. But it looks like we may have to focus on Mark Ingram. I don't know if Kamara will be playing this game, but even if they don't have Kamara, you can't underestimate Mark Ingram. He can still contribute out of that backfield. And, we've struggled defending the run. We did a little bit of a better job against Saquon Barkley, but still, our run defense is still one of our weaknesses, although it did improve a little bit against the Giants. So far, Jameis Winston has 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and he's been sacked 10 times in these first 2 games. And the New Orleans defense has been able to create some turnovers as well, forcing 3 fumbles. So that's another thing we got to do is we got to protect the ball. And hopefully this game, our defense can finally cause some turnovers. We don't have a single turnover yet caused by the defense. It has yet to happen. Let's look at the statistical comparison according to the Panthers website. All right. Let's start with the offense. So on offense, total yards per game, Carolina is ranked 28th. New Orleans is ranked 17th. Rushing yards per game, the Panthers are ranked 20th. The Saints are ranked 9th. So Saints know how to run the ball, something we still aren't doing enough of. Net passing yards a game, the Panthers are ranked 30th in net passing yards. The Saints are ranked 18th. So, our passing game is being negatively affected just as bad as our running game. But the thing with the running game is we're not running the ball enough. All right. For sacks allowed, Carolina is ranked 23rd. The Saints are ranked 31st. This is something that the Carolina defense needs to take advantage of. The Saints are ranked 31st in sacks allowed. We need to take advantage of that. We haven't really been able to get a whole lot of a pass rush. This needs to be the game that the Panthers defense dominate on the pass rush and fluster Jameis Winston. Make him create turnovers. They're ranked 31st in sacks allowed. Panthers, y'all got to take advantage of that. This is a must. Our pass rush has to be successful this game. It has to be. Let's go. Third down efficiency on offense. Panthers are ranked 29th. The Saints are ranked 25th. So kind of sort of almost even there. Points per game. Panthers are ranked 15th. The Saints are ranked 19th. B. Ryder says, did their corner or whoever fought Evans get suspended? Marshawn Lattimore? You know what? That's a good question. Let's check. So Evans got suspended. I don't think Lattimore got suspended. I guess I don't see anything about Marshawn Lattimore suspended. Let me just double check just to make sure. Yeah, he's listed as active. So I don't think Marshawn Lattimore got suspended. So just Mike Evans. So expect Marshawn Lattimore to play. According to ESPN, I don't see any article on Marshawn Lattimore being suspended. Okay. Let's take a look at the defense side of things. All right, so on defense, total yards allowed per game, the Panthers are ranked 9th. The Saints are ranked 17th. So technically, I don't know how the heck we're still in the top 10 defense. I really don't know. And that's an issue from last year. I mean, supposedly last year we were ranked 2 in defense, but yet 5 wins. So it's crazy how we still have a top 10 defense, but just it's not helping to translate into wins. And I understand it's just one side of the ball, but that bothers me. I mean, top 10 defense, and we're 0-2 right now. It's not a good look. But total yards allowed, Panthers are ranked 9th. Saints are ranked 17th. All right. Total rushing yards allowed per game. This is where we're weak at. Panthers are ranked 29th. Saints are ranked 23rd, but this is our big weakness. So, and this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a really tough game where we're going to be tested on the run. All right, passing yards allowed per game. The Panthers are ranked 3rd. The Saints are ranked 11th. So, I mean, our pass defense still seems pretty solid, but it's not translating to wins, unfortunately, or just overall. But, okay, sacks. Panthers are ranked 19th. The Saints are ranked 30th. So hopefully, which is kind of hard to believe that the Saints are ranked 30th in sacks. I find that very hard to believe. Wow. Even with Cam Jordan? Even with Cam Jordan on there? Even with, what's his face? Marcus Davenport on there? Taco Charlton? And they only got 1 sack? Wow. I find that very hard to believe. They only got 1 sack. Wow. That's crazy. Anyway, third down efficiency on defense. Panthers are ranked 17th. Saints are ranked 8th. Here's another big one. Takeaways. The Saints are ranked 10th in takeaways. The Carolina Panthers are ranked 32nd. We are at the bottom with 0 takeaways. That is not normal for Carolina Panther football. 2 games in, and we don't have a single takeaway. No fumble recovery, no interception. We don't have a single takeaway. And that's a big reason why I don't see how this defense is ranked top 10 and not have a single takeaway. I find that hard to believe that we're in the top 10. We're ranked 9th, and we don't have a single takeaway. I don't get it. B. Ryder says, I believe if we can get the picks and fumbles, we'll start winning. I believe they are working on that. Well, they better get to it. They better get on it, because we can't walk out of this week with a third straight loss. Okay. Points allowed per game. Panthers are ranked 18th. Saints are ranked 21st. So, really some things to point out with this statistical comparison, these ranks. One thing with the Saints, they're in the top 10 on rushing yards, and for a reason. So, It's another thing we got to keep in mind. We got to keep the run in check. We got to keep the run in check. If we can do similar to how we did against Saquon Barkley or better, then that'll be big. That'll be big. Also, like I said, the Saints are ranked 31st in sacks allowed. We need to punish that. We need to capitalize on that. They've already given up 10 sacks in 2 games. We need to punish them for that. So I know our D-line has taken quite a beating, especially in the rotation. I mean, Ravion Roy's out. Hopefully Marquand McCall can step up. He was able to do a little something in the Giants game. So hopefully that'll be a big boost. But we got to get some pressure at the D-line. So Phil Snow, you got to call up some blitzes. You need to dial up a handful of blitz packages on the Saints offensive line. They've given up 10 sacks. When Jameis Winston is flustered, he loses. He throws picks. When he eats sacks, he gets flustered. We need to capitalize on that. As a Carolina Panther defense, they need to capitalize on that. So, D-line, linebackers, y'all got to step up. Y'all got to go in. If y'all have to blitz like crazy most of the time, so be it. I mean, like I said, the pass defense has at least been there. I mean, Carolina's ranked 3rd in passing yards allowed. So the passing defense seems to be there so far. So hopefully, with that, they'll be able to keep Michael Thomas in check. They'll be able to keep what's his face? Chris Olave, their draft pick. So there's that. B. Ryder says, and field goal kickers have been eating us alive. I mean, yeah, the last 2 games we've lost by a field goal. And to be honest, the whole thing with Graham Gano doesn't surprise me. I mean, Graham Gano used to kick for us. So that didn't really surprise me. But yeah, I mean, but it feels like deja vu all over again from 2 seasons ago when we had Teddy Bridgewater, because we lost a lot of games by a touchdown or less. So, yeah, it's deja vu all over again. It's the 50-yarders. I mean, that's what field goal kickers got to be able to do. I mean, when their number's called, that's what they got to do. So, but yeah, when it comes to the defense, we gotta get pressure in the pass rush. Got to stop the run. Saints are very strong on the run. As far as the Carolina offense, hopefully the offensive line can do great. The Saints are, ranked 30th in sacks on defense. But they're going to be tested, though. I mean, Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, they're going to be tested on that offensive line, though. Don't be fooled. They might only have 1 sack, but don't be fooled by this New Orleans Saints defensive line. They can still get it done. B. Ryder says, I know it's just frustrating. I mean, block a field goal every once in a while. Yeah, but it's pretty dang on difficult to block a field goal, though. It's pretty difficult. If you ask me, I would find blocking a field goal just almost as hard as returning a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown. Because, I mean, they, both rarely happen. I think those are probably 3 of the hardest things to do in the NFL block a field goal or punt and return a punt or a kickoff return for a touchdown. But yeah, on offense, we're actually no. Let me stay on defense for a second. So on defense, I think the three main things for the Carolina Panthers on defense: shut down the run, really follow up on what they did against Saquon Barkley and do the same against Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. Definitely got to do that. Now, I know Alvin Kamara is questionable, and he did practice. He had limited practice, so I'm not going to assume that Kamara won't play. But even if he doesn't play, they still got Mark Ingram. So not only that, they also got Latavius Murray as well. They also got him as well, Latavius Murray. So don't sleep on those core of running backs. Don't sleep on those core of running backs. But, if we can follow up and capitalize on stopping the run, that'll help. Because, after all, it says here, Panthers held the Giants running back Saquon Barkley to a rushing efficiency of 4.36 in week 2. So that was actually really good. Much, much better. Okay. But yeah, so got to capitalize on the run defense. Secondly, we need a powerful run. We need to run the ball. Christian McCaffrey went over 100 yards rushing in the Giants game, something we haven't seen him do in a while, of course, for obvious reasons. But still, we got to run the ball. That needs to be our bread and butter, is running the ball. Also, if y'all are not planning on splitting the reps, between McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard, and Deontay Foreman, then when the run is working with McCaffrey, you keep feeding that guy. Look, McCaffrey is back. He looks healthy. He's playing. We need to use our weapons. So McCaffrey is getting positive yardage, especially per run consistently. We got to keep feeding him. Like, we can't keep holding back what's been working. McCaffrey's out there. He's playing. I understand, balancing the touches, but what balancing the touches have we seen? In the last game, I think Chuba Hubbard had like 1 carry and Deontay Foreman had like two carries. Like, what's the point? Hey, Super Treybo. Hey, Jason, sup? What's going on? Back in the early 2020 on Charlotte radio show, Sal Paolantonio predicted Matt Rule win the Super Bowl with the Panthers and said Rule would be immediately success in the NFL. I was excited. Whoever Sal Paolantonio, that dude must have been on some serious stuff. Dude was on some serious stuff. So, yeah. B. Ryder says, how do you think Ekwonu is doing? How do I think Ekwonu is doing? In all honesty, I think he's doing all right. I mean, Ekwonu is a rookie. He's going to win some. He's going to lose some. If anything, I felt like Taylor Moton struggled in that Giants game. But, I mean, you know, we only gave up 2 sacks. But, I mean, Ekwonu is going to win some and he's going to lose some. I think, if anything, this year, if he stays healthy and he gets the reps, which, I mean, he's the starting left tackle, he'll get better. He'll get better. I think the expectation this year is Ekwonu's going to win some and he's going to lose some. Hopefully, when it comes down to it, more wins than losses at the line. But for now, I think he's doing all right. I think he's doing all right. But I think he's, you know, what's happening is expected. He's going to win some and he's going to lose some. That's just how it is. But I think after this season, depending on how he does overall, I think if he stays healthy, he continues to test himself, work on his technique more and more, I think he could end up having an even better sophomore year next season. But we'll see. We'll see. I got faith in him. I got faith in him. Okay. Now, but yeah, they're definitely that offensive line is definitely going to be tested on Sunday, especially against the likes of Cameron Jordan, Taco Charlton, Marcus Davenport. They're going to be tested on that line. So if the offensive line can hold up, give protection. Now, Baker Mayfield has to also do better with his decision making. Now, I know he's only thrown 1 pick. So, I mean, he hasn't turned the ball over, you know, a bunch or anything like that. But Baker still is hesitating some. You know, he's got to trust his O-line because there have been plenty of plays. Don't get me wrong. There have been plenty of plays in that Giants game where Baker had plenty of time. He just has to make the decision and hit the open guy right then and there. Baker has had time. Let's keep it real. He has had plenty of time. The thing is, he's got to do a little bit better with his decision making. I think that's mainly like one key thing with him. B Ryder says Baker get batted down a lot. Yeah, that's another issue as well. Just the balls get batted down from the line. That is another issue, which happened a lot in that Browns game. But I think overall, you know, Baker Mayfield, like I said, one of the things he did really well in the preseason was going through his progressions. You know, he's got to be able to do that. He's got to be able to trust his protection, but at the same time, make the play. When it's there, make the play. Like he missed a golden opportunity with Shi Smith, especially in that first game. He missed a golden opportunity. But I think overall Baker Mayfield will be fine. I don't really understand a lot of people so quick to give up on Baker Mayfield. Baker's been making some good decisions as well. I mean, like I said, he's only turned the ball over once. He's been doing a pretty dang on good job of taking care of the ball. I know there's been some fumbles, but awareness is there. He's been able to pounce on them. So I got to give that credit where credit's due. I think Baker will be fine. Super Trebo says, hey, Jason, you know it's bad when on Sundays you don't really even care anymore after they lose. Even in close losses, I don't get upset. It's like, whatever. That's how it's been as a Panthers fan lately. I mean, I get it, but it's not a great look. It's not a great look. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. We're frustrated. The fan base is frustrated. But at the same time, we can't tap out. Now is not the time to tap out. Now is not the time to give up, to submit, to wave the white flag. I mean, we're 2 games in. There's a sense of urgency to win. I do agree with that. There's definitely a sense of urgency to win. But we have to also keep in mind that we have been in previous situations before where we have come back and made things better to the point where we've gotten a wild card or playoff spot. The main question is that going to happen under Coach Matt Rule? To be honest, I don't think so. But I have no problem with being proven wrong if Matt Rule can do so. If he can prove me wrong, great. But I don't think he's going to prove any of us wrong, to be honest with you. That's just me. I can only speak for myself. But I don't think he's going to prove any of us wrong. But yeah, we got to run the ball. We need good protection. Also, on defense, takeaways. This is the perfect game for Carolina to start racking up takeaways. We need takeaways. We're going up against Jameis Winston, who is known for turnovers. We need takeaways in this game. Carolina cannot go through a third game without a single takeaway. That is not normal for Carolina Panthers defenses, even over the years. Carolina needs to start getting some takeaways. Super Tribo says, do you think if we lose to the Saints Sunday or get blown out by the Saints, Rule will be fired after week 3? I mean, honestly, Super Tribo, he should have been fired after the end of last season. That's just my take. But I feel like he should have been fired after the end of last season. So if anything, if they lose, then it just adds on more reasons and more clarity of why Matt Rule needs to be let go. Because honestly, he might have some success, but as a college coach, I do not think he's cut out to be an NFL coach. And, that could be a right now thing. Maybe he goes back to coaching college football for a while, does well, maybe eventually wins a championship. And after he's gotten better, then maybe he can try again later. But right now, Matt Rule is not a good NFL coach. He's not. He's not. A good NFL coach doesn't have a record of 1-25 in games where the opponent is leading by 17 or more points or allows 17 or more points. A good coach doesn't have only 10 wins in 2 seasons and getting started on a 3rd season and haven't picked up a win yet. That's not a good NFL coach. So, I mean, honestly, if the Panthers lose, I mean, not only are they 0-3, but it's a NFC South division loss. So, this is a big, big game. And if Carolina loses, it is not going to be pretty. I'm not saying that the season will be over, but it is not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. But this is the game. I mean, as important as the first two games were, this is where it's really, really going to be do or die. I mean, we're playing the Saints, and then the next couple of games, Cardinals, Niners, Rams. I mean, we've had the Cardinals number for the past couple of seasons, but that may be changing this year. If we don't get it together, that may be changing this year. The Niners. We haven't beaten the Niners in a couple of seasons. And the Rams, well, defending Super Bowl champs. Need I say more? Shoot, I originally predicted we were going to sweep the Falcons. Now, I doubt it. I highly doubt it now. As of now, I don't see us sweeping the Falcons. I don't. I might have to take that back. I'm gonna have to take that back. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna sweep the Falcons. Not with how we've been playing. I don't see it. And the funny thing is, you know, with these press conferences and such, and just looking at a lot of the comments, you know, we got so many of the Panther fans clowning on Saints and Falcons. Newsflash, we haven't won a game since week 10 of last season. We really don't have any room to be bashing any other team right now. We don't. Got to keep it real with y'all. We have no room to be bashing any other team right now. We really don't. We really don't. Longest active losing streak in the NFL right now. We have no room to say jack. Oh, but the Falcons are 0-2. We haven't won a game since week 10 of last season. Oh, the Bengals are 0-2. The Bengals were in the Super Bowl last season. Carolina Panthers haven't won a game since week 10 of last season. The Titans and the Raiders are 0-2. They were in the playoffs last season. We haven't won a game since week 10 of last season. Like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, we really don't have any room to talk junk about any other team. I'm just saying. We might potentially have one of the worst coaches in the NFL, if not the worst coach. Hate to say it, but I mean, I gotta keep it real. Gotta keep it real. Super Treybo says, yeah, I agree with you, Jason. Sweep the Falcons. We never, ever sweep the Falcons. LOL. If anything, they sweep us a lot through the years. And I hate to say that as a fan. We never have luck with them. To be honest, I don't even remember the last time we swept the Falcons. Yeah, to be honest, you know what? I'm curious. When was the last time we swept the Falcons? We haven't swept the Falcons. Because I know we didn't in 2015, because that was our one loss. The Super Bowl run, we lost to, that was the one loss. Let's see, when did we sweep the Falcons? Okay. The last time the Carolina Panthers have swept the Falcons was 2013. We haven't swept the Falcons since 2013. And that was the year that we that was the year where we made the playoffs at 12-4 and then lost to San Francisco in the divisional round at home when Colin Kaepernick trounced us. And of course, that was the year the Niners went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Ravens. But yeah. But an interesting fact, that 2013 season, we started off 0-2. Started off 0-2. Then won a game, then lost, and then won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games straight. So, I don't know. Maybe we could see 2013 all over again. I don't know. But 2013, we started off 0-2. Oh, but wait a minute. We had a certain coach. We had a certain coach at the time. Oh yeah. Coach Riverboat Ron Rivera. That's right. That's right. Not to mention, that was Riverboat Ron's third season. That's right. That was his third season. Got it right on the third season. Can Matt Rule do the same? I don't know. I don't know. But yes, 2013 is the last time the Carolina Panthers swept the Falcons. So it has been forever. But you know, there's a couple of things that I also want to address. Look, here's what I don't understand. Carolina Panthers. When are we going to play Rashard Higgins? When are we going to play Terrace Marshall Jr.? What the heck is up with them? Let me look them up. Are they injured? Rashard Higgins, active. Terrace Marshall Jr., active. When the heck are we going to start playing these guys? Where they been? Where they been? I understand Laviska Shenault was out, but apparently now they have him listed as active. Like, what's the deal? When are we going to start playing these guys? When are we going to start playing these guys? Super Trebo says, yeah, it was 2013. I remember because we had a killer defense in 2013, but offense was bad. That was the year Seahawks beat. What was? Wait, hold on. That was the year that Seahawks beat the Niners in the NFC title game and won the Super Bowl. That was Ron's first playoff run. Wait, don't you mean the Ravens? I think it was the Niners that beat the Seahawks because remember that was the Super Bowl where I thought that was the Super Bowl where the Niners and Ravens played, or am I off on that? But yeah, Terrace Marshall, where's he at? Rashard Higgins, where you at? Like, why aren't we playing these guys? We're barely playing Deontay Foreman. Like, why are we not playing these guys? And apparently we picked up Raheem Blackshear, who was with the Bills practice squad. Who the heck is this Raheem Blackshear? 5'9", 190 pounds, played at Virginia Tech, 24 years old. Like, what the heck? Why are we not trying to boost the D-line? Like, what? Why are we not trying to boost the D-line? Need to get Tommy Tremble more action? But like, Shi Smith struggled. But I mean, I'm still waiting on TMJ and Hollywood Higgins. When are they going to finally get called on? I have no idea. I guess Brandon Smith still recovering. I mean, we could definitely use Brandon Smith right about now. Word is that perhaps if Dante Jackson can't go this Sunday, we may be seeing a lot of J.C. Horn, C.J. Henderson, and Miles Hartsfield if Dante Jackson can't go this Sunday. Another thing, and I know this is probably a little out of line, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Carolina defense, Phil Snow, you might want to rethink about possibly moving Jeremy Chin back into the box. I really don't think Jeremy Chin has been as successful as we hoped for at that safety position, y'all. I could be wrong, but we might want to consider moving Jeremy Chin back up into that linebacker spot, that nickel. Might want to consider that. It's where he's been the most successful so far in his NFL career. So, I mean, and, as far as the safety position, may have to consider maybe Sam Franklin or Sean Chandler, or maybe even Justin Burris, who's a veteran. I mean, might be something to think about, because Jeremy Chin has been the most successful from that linebacker spot, playing up in the box. But we'll see. I don't know how much action Aaron Mosby's going to get, but he got elevated to the main roster, so I don't know. Maybe special teams, I don't know. But we'll have to see how much action he gets. But yeah, as far as Dante Jackson, he wasn't able to finish the Saints game. But he was limited at practice. But like I said, hopefully Dante will be able to go for this Sunday. But if not, keep in mind the names I had mentioned. Oh, and apparently Carolina brought back defensive tackle Frank Heron. So he got brought back. Since, another spot opened up on the roster with the Bravion Roy and Andre Roberts being put on injured reserve. So it looks like Aaron Mosby is probably going to be on special teams. And apparently he played 16 snaps on special teams in the Giants game. So who knows? They say that he's versatile as a stand-up linebacker and a rush end. So if that's the case, we could be seeing Aaron Mosby line up perhaps on the D-line. Maybe he gets in the rotation. And Bravion Roy's injury is a hamstring injury as well. So it looks like with the rotation, Marquand McCall and Phil Hoskins, expect to see them in the rotation behind Matt Ioannidis and Derek Brown. And of course, they have Henry Anderson, who got juked out of his shoes by Daniel Jones. But But you know what? I gotta give Baker Mayfield credit. He's taken responsibility for mistakes on offense. I mean, he understands what's going on. So I mean, it's a big deal when you take responsibility. So there's that. But another thing I wanted to talk about. Couple of things. One, if Matt Rule does get fired, who takes his spot as interim head coach? Do you think it should be Steve Wilkes? Or do you think it should be Ben McAdoo? Or somebody different on the staff? If Matt Rule were to be fired right now or after the Saints game, who should step in and take over head coaching duties for the rest of the season? I would love to know what y'all's thoughts are with that. And also, David Tepper. Dude, but I gotta talk to you, Mr. Tepper. Dude, when the heck are you gonna start caring? When are you gonna really start caring? And secondly, what exactly do you care about? Do you actually care more about the franchise making money, or do you actually care about wins? Because right now, David Tepper doesn't look like he cares at all. I feel like his buddy, whatever sort of bond with Matt Rule, being that, hey, he reminds me a lot of me, I feel like is a big thing that may be holding him back from letting him go. And that's not good. That's not good. So David Tepper gotta make up his mind. It just boggles me. He had no problem canning Ron Rivera, who is a better coach, but won't even budge on Matt Rule. I don't get it. I don't get it. But hey, if Matt Rule reminds him a lot of himself, then I guess we really shouldn't be surprised that he's still the Carolina Panthers coach. And you know what the crazy thing is? Do you know what the real crazy thing is? Apparently, word is that Jonathan Stewart doesn't believe Matt Rule should get fired. He doesn't believe that he should get fired. That's what I've been hearing. Like what? Hold on, let me see if I can look up the art, if there's an article on that. Cause I gotta let me see if there's an article on that. Because when I first heard about this, I was just like, wait, what? But yeah, I gotta look into that because I understand that, there's a lot of issues. I understand that. I understand that there's a lot of issues, but I really don't understand exactly what it is Jonathan Stewart is seeing that gets him to the conclusion that we should hold on to Matt Rule. And it's like, I feel that he's forgetting that dude hasn't won a game since week 10 of last season. Not only that, his record, Matt Rule's record, like his record. Like, I just find it really hard to believe how somebody can say, you know, chill on the fire rule talk after all that's been happening for the past 2 seasons, now entering into the beginning of the third season, still with no wins and have the longest active NFL losing streak. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I love Jonathan Stewart. Don't get me wrong. I love Jonathan Stewart. Definitely one of the best running backs to have played for the Carolina Panthers. Hands down. Definitely a great running back. But I really don't understand. And like I said, I have to dig deeper into that because I only heard about this podcast. So I'm gonna have to take time to watch it for myself or, watch highlights or whatnot. I can't seem to find the article about it, but I do want to take a chance to get a better understanding from where he's coming from. You know what I mean? I want to get a better understanding of where he's coming from. So we'll see. Wow. But anyway, score prediction. Well, oh man. Will third time be the charm for Carolina? Will third time be the charm? I don't know, y'all. But the first 2 times I picked Carolina to win and we lost. So, ooh. I'm hoping. You know what? I'm going to say 10-7. 10-7 Carolina. I know that's probably way off. But I'm going to say 10-7. $10-7 Carolina. And if I'm wrong, then I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pick them to win in the game afterwards because it's just getting kind of annoying now. It's just getting really annoying. But but with their schedule, I mean, it's about to get really hard. It's about to get really hard. I mean, after the Saints, we got the Cardinals, then Niners, then Rams. It's going to get really hard, y'all. It's going to get really hard. But we'll see what happens. But no matter what, keep pounding. Let's try to be positive. Hopefully things will turn around. it needs to turn around this Sunday, but we'll see what happens. But that will do it for this edition of Carolina Panthers Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the stream. Hit that notification bell while you're at it. And thank y'all so much for coming through and chatting it up with me. But hopefully we do not end this week on a 0-3 start. If we go into next week 0-3, something needs to be done. And I think that needs to be along the lines of Matt Rule getting canned. Because a 0-3 start, that's just not a good look. Especially with that third loss being against the NFC South team, that's not going to be a good look. And we need these NFC South wins. I mean, right now the Bucs are 2-0. So we need these wins. But I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see y'all in the next video. Keep pounding. Stay safe. God bless. Peace.